How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast, where we come together to raise our vibration, lift our perspective, and build that positive mindset. My name is Henry, and I'm so thankful to have each and every one of you here today because in this episode, we're going to talk about a perspective that if you take, it will give you power and fulfillment on why you feel the way you feel and how to experience a life that you love and enjoy. But before we get started, we're going to take a few moments to slow down, zero in. We're going to take some deep, healing, meditative breaths to help us align on the frequency that we want in our lives. So you can pick a word. It can be love, joy, happiness, abundance, whatever frequency you want. And we're going to take a deep breath in. And as you're breathing in, you're going to say this word over and over and over again. Really charge yourself up with that energy. And then as you're holding your breath, visualize yourself doing something in that frequency. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. All right, well, we're going to take another deep breath. This one's about alignment, about getting ourselves in receiving mode so that we can receive the message that we need to hear to get us in that positive perspective. So just imagine that you are surrounded by the most healing, uplifting energy that's meant specifically for you. It could have a certain color, a certain taste, a certain smell, however you imagine it. And when you breathe it in, it's going to charge you up. It's going to break down the negativity, the blocks, the weight, everything that's just been holding you back. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you and will be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take another deep breath in. And out. Well, before we get started, if there's something that resonates with you in this episode, if you're on Spotify or YouTube, you can leave a comment. Not only does that help me know what you like about the show, but somebody else might read your comment and it might inspire them to give this episode a listen. My goal is to make this the #1 mindset podcast in the world, and the best way to do that would be together. So whether you leave a comment or you share this with somebody, it means the absolute world to me, and I could never thank you enough. But with that, let's dive into today's episode. So this perspective, this is something that I was actually having a conversation with somebody, and when they talked about it, it just became so clear why experiences are different. So there's a saying that I've had for a long time, and it's a common song, so you may have heard it other places. I didn't make it up, but it's the world is not as it is as you are. Meaning whatever you experience, it's your perspective, the frequency that you operate in, because the frequency that you're in dictates how you see the world. That's why I say your perception is your reception, meaning how you perceive, you receive. And that's based on the frequency that you operate in, like you. So the world is not as it is because the world is everything. Everything is always available, whether it's good, bad, wins, losses, pain, hurt, love, it's all there. And what you receive is based on the frequency that you operate in. And so what we get lost in is we think everything's the same. We think that my experience is the same and your experience is the same. So I might try to talk to you as if I'm talking to myself without realizing that you operate in different frequency. And so this clarity will help you understand you more, but also help you understand others so that you can live a life that's fulfilling to you and stop trying to live a life that's fulfilling to others. And it's this. We are all actually living in our own world. It's a shared experience, like this world that we're on, this life that we're living, it's shared. But if your perception is your reception, the world as it is to you is unique to you. So it's your world. Just as it's my world, it's your neighbor's world, we each are living in our individual experiences. So if I, being a positive person, operating in a positive frequency, come off as somebody that's happy all the time, that's always in, good perspective, good energy, it's because that is my world. It has nothing to do with what's happening in your world. You see, if you are alongside me and whatever it is, your perception might be negative. Maybe you're having a tough time. So your world is reflecting the negative. But if my world is reflecting the positive, we are in the same car, but experiencing two different rides. And so if you want a different experience, you have to change your world. But you see, you are the creator of your world. So you have to change you. By changing you, I mean change your frequency. If you want to change your frequency, well, your frequency is what you frequently see. That's not just what you look at. It's what you perceive. When I say see, I mean observe. Your frequency is what you observe. So your thoughts, what other people say, experiences in the world, all of it are things that you're observing. If you want to feel different, if you want to resonate in a different frequency, you have to observe different thoughts. Well, you might say to yourself, well, Henry, I can't stop thinking about the bad. I try to think positive, but it's negative. I see the hurt. I see the pain. I see it within myself. What can I do? There's nothing I can do. Maybe that's where your thought process is. You have to understand that you are more powerful than that. So just saying, I think this way, is recreating or re-empowering the current frequency. It is a choice. No matter how hard it is, it's not a fair choice. Maybe my life was easier. Maybe I had a perfect amount of circumstances where it's an easy choice for me to be positive. You'll never know because you never experienced my life. So might as well just assume it was easy. But for you, why do you assume it was hard? Why do you see your life and see all the negative things? How do you know if we didn't switch places and I experienced your life from childhood to now that I wouldn't see everything as a blessing? We cannot put our external and use that as the reason for our eternal. Yes, the external world can affect you. If I am around you all the time and I'm constantly talking about how terrible the economy is, how bad opportunities are, how evil the president is or whatever, if I was constantly saying bad, pretty much what our news channels do, but if I did that, the frequency within you, the more you paid attention to me, would resonate that. How many of you had parents that did that? Maybe told you weren't wanted, maybe told you that you're a problem, or told you that all the mistakes were your fault, or they would be better off if they didn't have all these bills because of having kids, or whatever it is. That seems like it's external. And as a kid, yes, maybe you don't know. You don't have the ability to understand and to control. But at this point, you gave yourself an opportunity for understanding. If this is the first and only episode you've listened to this podcast, if you don't turn off at this moment, you can no longer say that you didn't know, that nobody ever told you, that you never had that perspective, because this is that opportunity to have it. That's what this is giving you, is an opportunity to realize, oh, I have a choice in the way I think. It's not a fair choice. It's not an easy choice. Don't compare it to others. Only focus on you. It is a choice. You see, you can use the fake it till you make it. Whether it's a fake word, meaning you just say, I am happy and I'm glad that I have these things, even if you don't feel it. It's still representative frequency. In fact, the reason you don't feel it is because you're operating in the lower frequency. You're operating opposite of that. The same for me would be saying something negative. I have difficulty saying negative things because of the frequency and perspective that I operate in. So for me to say, oh, it's not going to work out, or work is hard, or it's a hard day, or things like that, those are so foreign, they feel fake to me. So the same, if you're struggling, if you're in negative energy and you're going through difficulty and you try to say the positive thing in your mind, it'll seem foreign, it'll seem fake. It seems that way because the majority of your focus, the majority of your energy is not in that frequency. But the more you do it, the more space it takes up in your mind, the more space it takes up in your energy field, and you, this is a blessing, can only focus on so many things at once. That means you can only expand so many things at once. That means you can only create so many things at once. That means you can only magnify something. You can't magnify everything. So if you think it's all in your brain, it's not. It's what you're observing. So if you want to put the fake thoughts in there so you can start observing good, then do it. It's not how you feel about it. It's about the consistency, commitment to a frequency. The more you do it, the more your perspective will start to change. It's the car phenomenon. When you get a new car, say you get a red Toyota 4Runner, all of a sudden, you're going to see red Toyota 4Runners all over the place. More people didn't buy them because you did. You now observe it because you have it. You're going to observe it in the world. That's how everything works. So understand, you are the creator of your world. That doesn't mean you're creator of the world. This is a shared experience that we're all co-creating together. But what you take from it, how your experience is dictated by the frequency that you operate in. So now, every time you view anybody, see them operating in like a bubble. That bubble is their world. How they perceive things, how things come into their bubble is based on the frequency that they operate. So everything that's coming to you that you perceive, how you feel about it, is based on your frequency. That doesn't mean because I'm positive, because I practice positive mindset, I say positive frequencies, like I build those within me, that doesn't mean that I can't get in a car accident or I can't die or something quote unquote bad happens. It means because of where my perspective is, I don't view anything as bad. That doesn't mean something can't happen that would make me sad. That doesn't mean I won't have hurt or pain in my life. Absolutely, it's going to come. That's why this earth is here. It's to give us darkness so that we can still create the light. And see, that's the difference. That's my perspective. That's my belief that the good thing or the bad thing is actually the good thing. It's not good because I'm getting something in this world. It's good because my energy, my soul has the opportunity to provide the opposite. And you might be operating at a lower frequency doing the opposite of that. The world's giving you good, but because you're hurt, you're in pain, you have trauma, whatever, your frequency is low, you manage to expand the lowest of it. And that's your reality. So change it. Decide who you want to be. And then every day when you wake up and make that decision to have the positive thoughts, to have the positive perspective, so you can receive in positive energy, you will feel content and fulfilled because you know you received and perceived by choice. You chose to be that higher version of you. That's where the confidence comes from. You chose to do what's in alignment with your desires. That's where the confidence comes from. So if you want to create a powerful world, if you want to create an experience that you love, control your frequency. Change your perception in the world, because that will change your reception and become the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, thank you so much for listening. I hope this came through clear. I'm still dealing with the voice issues, but we got to stay committed and consistent with what we say we're going to do so that the universe knows we are that frequency no matter what happens. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link down below. It will keep you up to date with every single episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook group, all down below. I appreciate all the follows there. And if you want to level up, if you listen to this episode and you want that perspective for yourself, this is what I do. I'm a mindset coach. I help people shift and receive as they desire. You can reach out to me via Instagram. That's probably the best way. Or there's a link down below. If you fill that out, I will get back to you as soon as possible. I'm currently full, but if you want to get on a waiting list or you want to start the conversation now is the time. And again, Instagram's probably the best, but you can fill that out and I'll reach back to you again as soon as I have some more availability. Well, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.